O'Neill Outside Radio is brought to you by these fine sponsors. The Whitetail Institute of North America, the gold standard for food plots. Realtree, camo hunting, fishing, and land management products. Tough Shed, great storage sheds and custom buildings. Works, power and garden tools. Fisher's Choice, the ideal solution to live bait. CVA, quality muzzleloader since 1971. QDMA, Quality Deer Management Association. Arctic Ice, the most durable, versatile, and effective cooler packs available. And Furminator, the finest food plot implement on the market.
Good morning, boys and girls, from Black Powder headquarters at Three Falls Cabin in the North Georgia Mountains. CVA presents Realtree
Good morning,
Radio.
everyone. Stepping all over my own lines. Welcome to the program.
Morning.
This is O'Neill from Black Powder headquarters and the Bojangles studio high in the mountains of North Georgia. Welcome to the next 2 hours for the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the country. So it's very highly qualified. Welcome to the program, everyone. We have a lot of things to do, a full schedule today, and there's one thing that you will not hear anything about. There will be no politics on the program. Have you had enough? I certainly have. So now we can spend our time discussing more profitable things, more enjoyable things, the outdoors, and your experiences in it. The upcoming deer season, fall fishing, a great number of tips today, radio prize package, and several things to point you to this morning. Number one, not necessarily in this order of importance. Number one, that you can listen to this program on WSB. That's 95.5 WSB and AM 750 on the Sports Broadcast Network. That's right, SB. Sports Broadcast Network all over the country, from stations from Maine to Seattle to LA, throughout Texas, the Midwest, and all the way to Florida. And you can watch O'Neill Outside on Fox Sports, the Pursuit Channel, and so many other places. It's almost sickening. It's all on what they call the VOD networks. Beyond that, I would point you to our website at o'neilloutside.com. At the bottom of that page, you'll see a ship. Yeah, and it's in the Arctic. Yes. It's in Alaska. Yes. Next summer, we are going on a trip to Alaska from Seattle up to the glaciers and all that on the Lynn Canal, and I would invite you to consider that trip. We're going to go, and I think you should also. But beyond that, we have 2 hours of outdoors headed your way. You may call us at 404-872-0750, or outside the Atlanta calling area, it's 800-972-8255. That's 800-972-8255. We have a lot of prize packages, things to give away, and things to talk about. And this is O'Neill with O'Neill Outside, Saturday mornings, 4 to 6, and we'll be back. We have a couple of things to get to, then we'll start taking the calls. It's my privilege to tell you that this program is brought to you every Saturday, because without the sponsors, there will be no show. Realtree Camo, Tough Shed, Stripling's General Store, the Whitetail Institute, Arctic Ice. Yes, indeed. Once you get Arctic Ice, you won't buy any ice anymore. CVA, Furminator, Quality Deer Management Association, Snellville Heating and Air, and Appalachian Gun, a fabulous gun store here in Jasper, Georgia. And this camo, it's called Thiessen. It's actually called Thiessen, but it's spelled Thiessen, Thiesen. It's in Realtree Edge, and if you'll use my little, the spelling of my name, O'Neill, then you'll get special discounts. You bypass all the retailers. You buy it directly from the manufacturer. Then finally, we're sponsored now also by Rocco's. I'm going to go to Rocco's tonight. Okay, we got that out of the way. We have a busy schedule this morning. We have the radio prize package, the gift card, the Medal of Honor tribute, the facts to confront the anti-hunter. We have the guest book. We'll tell you all about that. And the whitetail hunting tips from QDMA, and a very interesting input with regards how to improve your accuracy, something you may not have heard of. And then one more thing, a correction that I made last week. Someone had written in on my website at Facebook, and you can watch this show live on Facebook at O'Neill Outside. Someone asked about the armadillo or armadillo, and asked about whether it had or carried the leprosy bacteria. I said no. That was incorrect. The armadillo does have evidence of the leprosy bacteria. Now, I'm just going to amateurly comment that if you make one of those a pet or have one of those for dinner, then the chances of you getting that bacteria will go up dramatically. If you don't, then you don't. So, let's get to our first caller here. He's calling from Marietta. It's Bob. Bob, good morning. This is O'Neill. You're on the air. Welcome to the program.
Hey.
Hey, Bob.
Okay, first I want to apologize for my voice quality.
That's okay.
Right.
I can hear you. I'm fine.
I have a question about possums and a statement about squirrels.
Okay.
Can possums climb?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The possums can live in the trees, and they can hang by their tail on the limbs. Yes.
I've got a 4-foot-high chain link fence, and a few times I found possums in my backyard.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't know if they could climb or not.
Yeah, they can climb. You betcha. They're,
okay.
It's a possum is a rodent. He's very talented.
Okay.
And very resourceful.
An amazing fact I thought was the fact that I've seen a squirrel go through one link of the chain.
Oh.
It's amazing that they have that perfect vision, and if they can squeeze their body a little bit small enough to go to one link of a chain.
Well, you're making some terrific observances there, Bob. You really are. That's great. I wish I had a video of the squirrel doing that. That would be funny. I know rats. I'm told by our critter getter people that a rat, a house mouse, can squeeze under a door or a space 1/8 of an inch wide.
Wow.
That's how they've lasted so long, sir.
Yeah, I bet.
Since the last ice age, somewhere in the territory of 11,000 years.
Okay. Good to talk to you.
You bet. Glad you called, pal. Have a great.
Well, thanks.
You bet. Have a great weekend. 404-872-0750 800-972-8255. Here's a surprising tip for getting ready for the deer season. I know now, of course, that you will go to, as I do, to Appalachian Gun to sight in. Okay, I have a new rifle. I need to sight in. I'm bore-sighted. The scope's mounted. I need to go to Appalachian Gun. They've got a 50-yard range there, and I will sight in. Terrific. I'll be nice and set up. I'll have the necessary props so I can make great shots and tune that scope in, okay? But here's a recommendation for you. If you go to some of the ranges at the Georgia State Parks, wildlife management areas, down to Charlie Elliott. We're going to talk about Charlie Elliott in a few minutes. But here's something that I want you to do. You all set up on the target and you have it zeroed, okay? Do this for practice. Shoot from the prop, shoot from the stand, shoot bullseye. then stand up and shoot freehand immediately. Because you may have to do that during your deer hunting this fall. If you make a bad shot, the deer jumps, the deer moves, whatever the case might be, you may have to stand away from your secure props and make a second shot. You would do well to practice that. It may get the deer. It may be more humane for the deer. But in any case, practice that and make sure that that gun is zeroed. Okay? And then we have other tips about that sort of thing too. So we have many things to do. I want to I'll save the prize packages till the second half of the program. I want you to put those you guys in Georgia. I want you to put something on the schedule. Write down the Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center. Charlie Elliott. He's an old sports writer, deceased now, and he was fabulous. Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center. Then look it up on the internet, because weekly there are classes for children about how to hunt, how to fish, how to become more acquainted with wildlife. That Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center is an education center. And I'm sure if you live in Tennessee, the Carolinas, Alabama, wherever the states that you can hear this program all over the country, I'm sure your Department of Natural Resources has places like that. And wouldn't that be better than having the kids stay home all day and play on their iPads or their cell phones? It would be, wouldn't it? And one of the things I want to be sure and tell you about at Charlie Elliott, and again, this is probably repeated all over the country, is they have a program in the late October. It's Becoming an Outdoors Woman. And we need that. We need more women in the outdoors. We need more women to understand the outdoors, because there's so many more women that operate a single family household. And they need to be able to and enjoy it and be able to show and escort and host their children in introductions to the outdoors. If they don't know about it, they won't do it. Becoming an Outdoors Woman. Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center, the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, state parks and recreation areas. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. We have a couple of calls, and we will get to those calls upon our return. You're listening to, and hopefully watching on Facebook, O'Neill Outside. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. Short break, and we'll be back. I promise. 25 after the hour. Got a couple of things to get to, and we will get to those right now. We've got the guest book coming up, but first, since he's been holding on quite a while, let's go ahead and chat and put Mike from Covington on the radio. Good morning, Mike. This is O'Neill. Welcome to the show.
O'Neill, long-time listener, first-time caller. How are you doing today?
Just fine. And you looking forward to the hunting season?
Well, that's kind of why I called.
Okay.
I'm in a position now that I'm disabled.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more into fishing. I was born because of dove season. That's a long story. I'm not getting into that. But, I'm disabled, and I'm just trying to see if maybe there's an outlet for people who still love it but just can't do it as far as physically, maneuvering.
Right, I understand. Well, there are several organizations that you'll be able to find on the internet that specialize in that sort of thing. But I would tell you that I would, with a simple inquiry at a sporting goods store or a retailer near where you live, either by telephone or a visit on your part, I am quite certain there are some deer hunting clubs
in the Covington or that area of Georgia that would welcome the opportunity to take you deer hunting?
Well, today we're getting out of our heat wave, and
Yes.
I'm more of a fisherman.
Yeah, okay. Well,
And-
same thing. I tell you what. Why don't I would bet if you telephone the people at Charlie Elliott, I'll bet.
Oh, I love. I've got to cut you off. I'm sorry, O'Neill.
It's all right.
Sorry, but please tell the people, Charlie Elliott, right down the road from me.
Uh-huh.
Charlie Elliott. They have an astronomy thing they put on there
Mhm.
for the kids. My daughter, I taught her to fish on Charlie Elliott. All right. They have kid-only ponds on Charlie Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
But they have an astronomy thing out there that the guys set up, telescopes, and they have a thing at night. So they do a lot more than just the hunting, fishing, things like that. They do have science, it's everything. It's everything out.
Charlie Elliott. It is a marvelous place. It's not as extensive as the Go Fish Center down in Perry, but they do marvelous activity, outdoors women and so on. And let's make this a lesson for everybody. Ready? I have a question for you.
All right.
Where does the money come from that supports Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center and the rest of the wildlife centers and all these education programs for children and women and so on? Where do you suppose that money comes from?
Private donation.
And, well, private donations is part of it, but the answer I'm looking for is it comes from outdoorsmen. It comes from hunting license sales, excise taxes on gear, permits, licenses, and so on. We, you and I, as license holders,
People who enjoy it.
you bet, we do that. That's where that comes from. Please let me know about your progress on being aided with your disabilities on fishing and hunting. Would you do that?
I'll certainly do that. And real quick,
Uh-huh.
I woke up and I'm waiting on my omelet to get started because I'm sitting here and I woke up to you on the armadillo thing.
Oh, how about that?
Armadillos can, like human beings, contract leprosy. That's where that rumor started. They can contract leprosy just like humans can,
Yes.
and that's the only other animal that can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why everybody's like, armadillos have leprosy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they don't. Yeah, and just a slight correction, just that we understand each other. They don't have leprosy. They carry
Correct.
the bacteria that can cause leprosy.
All right.
Hey, man, thanks for calling.
Okay. Buddy, be good.
You bet. It's always a pleasure, sir. There we go. 404-872-0758, 972-8255. Let's speak now to Shay, and Shay is calling from Indiana. Good morning, Shay. You're on O'Neill
Morning,
Outside.
O'Neill. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Great. Well, in the past you've talked about how easy it is to get a kid into hunting with a 410 and go chase you some squirrels and rabbits.
Yes.
I'd like to know what your favorite squirrel meat recipe is.
All right. That's easy, okay? Number one, boil the squirrel.
Yep.
Tenderize him by boiling him, okay? And then after that, cook him, fry him in bacon grease and flour.
All right.
And he'll be really good, I'm telling you.
Well, I'll go ahead and share mine, too. I like to take it a little different direction, use a pressure cooker to, tenderize them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you save them juices, mix it in, and make you a gravy, add some vegetables, and make you a pot pie out of it.
Oh, man, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to hear what your favorite was.
Well, Shay, I'm a simpleton, okay? I keep everything as simple as possible. But you know, that pressure cooker idea is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're very tender after all of that. And hey, I tell you what kind do you have cornbread when you have a squirrel?
It's pretty hard to beat some good cornbread with that too.
That's it.
But I do like me some good pie crust if it's made right, and you throw little vegetables in there, then you don't feel so bad after eating a big old serving of it. So.
Hey, listen, thanks for taking the time to call. When does the deer season open in Indiana?
It opened this month here on the 1st of October for bow season, and then firearms is the 16th.
Okay, how long does it last?
How's it looking? How
long does it last?
It's only like 2 weeks for firearms.
Okay.
But it'll go all the way till, I believe, January 5th.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, if you do the bow and muzzleloader.
Okay.
So definitely a muzzleloader is a good idea to have in Indiana.
You bet. And there are muzzleloaders now, and then I'll shut up, but they're muzzleloaders now. One of them, CVA, makes one called the Paramount. And that is a muzzleloader I would encourage you to take a look at, because that's a muzzleloader that's accurate to 300 yards.
Well, I've been telling a buddy of mine about all that, and I'm trying to encourage him to get a muzzleloader. He's going to have to borrow a firearm from me this year, but I've told him you can get one for a pretty reasonable price, and you could take it anywhere and hunt anything in the U.S. pretty much.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I have taken game from Canada, Alaska, Wyoming, Montana, and Africa, all with a muzzleloader.
That's awesome. I'd like to join you on that, but I've got to find the time.
I understand.
Maybe a little bit of money too, but
absolutely.
I think it's a great thing, and I love how you encourage people to get their kids out there, and people that are interested in hunting. There's nothing stopping you from getting into it.
You betcha.
At any age.
You betcha. It'll last. The thing is, a youngster, male or female, that understands the outdoors and is exposed to it, and you don't have to go fishing, you don't have to go hunting, you don't have to pull the trigger, you don't have to kill anything. But if you understand the outdoors, then you become more of a complete, long-lasting involvement in the outdoors. It lasts a lot longer than high school.
Any other sport than you can do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be 76 years old this week, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it more and more every time.
Well, happy birthday to you, and I didn't know that, so that's
I'm an old guy.
Achievement in itself, you know.
That's right.
Well, you hang in there. I know that.
You betcha. Hey, listen, thanks for calling. I want to hear more from you guys up there in Indiana and Illinois and Ohio. I want to know more about the outdoors and fishing and hunting in that part of the country.
Well, I'll try and have some updates coming your way here. I'm going to get out and shoot some squirrels and ready all my equipment for firearms season. So I'm ready to go.
Well, you got some great things to look forward to. Thanks for calling, pal. You bet.
Have a good one, O'Neill.
You bet. You too. This is O'Neill, 404-872-0750 in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and 800-972-8255 worldwide. That translates to 800-WSB-TALK, T-A-L-K. And all over the country and all over the world, you can use that 800 number and be in touch with O'Neill. And we have the guest book mail when we return. You're listening to O'Neill Outside and maybe watching O'Neill Outside on Facebook, and you can watch it throughout the week on Facebook also, O'Neill Outside, if you don't get sick of it. Got a couple of calls here. We want to get to those because we appreciate people taking the time to call. Then we'll get to the guest book, and I promise we'll look at that. Who's up next? It's this one is Craig is calling. Where are you calling from, Craig?
Evans, Georgia. O'Neill. Evans is about 15 miles northwest of Augusta. It's really a bedroom community.
Okay.
About 10 years ago, I took my grandson's dog across the road into the woods over there. I let him off the leash and let him run through the woods.
Uh-huh.
And the last time we went over there, he started acting real funny, barking and all. And I looked over to the right, and there were two animals over there. And I thought to myself, my first thought was, what are those German shepherds doing out here in the woods? And instead of standing over there together, one of them took off and stood right in front of us, and the other one went all the way across and got over at about a 90-degree angle on really opposite where they had been, and acting real funny. My dog was acting real funny. I mean, he wanted to get at him and all. And I thought to myself, I said, damn, excuse me. I thought that was mighty strange. And I said, were those German shepherds or were those wolves? And I went down to the old Evans Diner and was talking with a hunter down there. And he said, we do have wolves over here in this part of, the country. People don't like to talk about it. But are there any wolves in Georgia?
I would tell you that no, you don't. What you had there that day was probably 2 male coyotes.
O'Neill, these things were too big to be coyotes. I mean, these were big.
Were they just German shepherds?
I know what coyotes look like, but these were big.
Were they German shepherds?
I don't think they were. They looked like German shepherds. I'll tell you something. I took the dog right then. I got him back on the leash, and we came back home, and I never went back over there in those woods. And we loved it. He loved it, and I loved to go over there and walk. But I said, I wasn't going to get over there with animals like that in the woods.
Absolutely. I would be amazed if they're wolves.
Okay.
But it could be. I mean, it's a lot of territory and a lot of forest and a lot of woods, and an animal like that can really be slick. And he's a wolf, a coyote. Those are night critters.
Yeah, I got you.
So they're only active at night. It could be maybe somebody from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources or a wildlife officer may give us a call and tell us whether it's probably wolves from Evans, Georgia. Who knows?
Let me ask you something. You reckon they could have been feral or German shepherds or something?
It could be. If they look like German shepherds, maybe they were. I would be less surprised if they were German shepherds than wolves.
Okay.
I mean, a wolf, people, we don't ever see them, okay? A wolf, a male, and you'd be able to tell if he was a male by how he was carrying his tail, okay? If his tail was up in the air, then he was probably a male, and a male wolf will sometimes weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I read that the timber wolf can weigh as much as 170 pounds.
Good Lord!
But those wolves are Arctic wolves, northern Canada wolves.
Okay.
All animals, all antlered animals and predator animals are larger the further away they are from the equator.
Okay.
They have to be bigger to withstand the winter.
I got you. Look here, I tell you, I really like your emphasis on outdoors and all. I'm not a hunter or a fisherman, but I just love the outdoors, and particularly this time of the year. I mean, I take my little puppies up to Clark Hill, and it is Lake Thurman. It's gorgeous up there this time of the year.
Oh boy! Well, we've got a great fall coming up, and we finally have the temperatures that support it.
Do you know what the temperature here in Augusta was yesterday?
No.
101.
Oh my goodness!
The day before it was 100.
Oh my goodness! Well, today maybe it'll be in the 80s.
It is. You take care, O'Neill.
You bet.
Enjoy
Glad you called. Hey, let me know about that, will you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
You bet. See you soon. There we go. There was that call. Now let's go, before we get to the guest book, let's talk to Matt. He's calling. We've got Matt coming up right now. Matt's calling from Cumming, Georgia. Good morning, Matt. You're on O'Neill Outside.
Hey,
Welcome.
how you been, brother?
Lovely.
Okay, a couple things. First of all, you're going to be, what, 39 this week?
Yeah, double that.
Number two, I think, your last caller with the shepherd / wolf / coyote.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I was deer hunting. First time I ever archery hunted, actually, in small patch of woods. And I had to chase. There was a small 4-pointer that ran in front of me, and there were two huge. I mean, they look like Chewbacca from Star Wars, right? And I then did research because I was so taken aback.
Uh-huh.
They could be coy dogs that he saw that were a hybrid, half coyote, half domestic dog.
That could be. I'm surprised I didn't think of that. That might be a terrific explanation, and the proper terminology is coy dogs, right?
Yep. When I saw these, they had almost like werewolves and London bangs. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
They were like nothing I've ever seen before. And it just so happened that year I shot 3 of them, and it was just it was just inundated. And apparently, I guess the story behind that is a strong male coyote has his way with a female domestic dog, and therefore the offspring becomes whatever it could be. I mean,
yep.
You know how all the different breeds of dogs are, so I assume it could look like just about anything.
I'm glad you called about that. That could have been a coy dog.
Right, and the ones I saw were definitely 75 pounds or more.
Okay,
so,
that's probably what it was. I hope he's still listening, and he probably is. That's a good explanation, and I appreciate you calling and telling us about that.
I love to hunt coyote. I love to do that. And the thing is, those coy dogs, they're not quite. They're much more aggressive potentially, from what I've learned. And coyotes, they're so slick, and they're like you say, you got to trap them. To get rid of them. I mean, they come near trying to smell you once, they'll never come near it again. So they're pretty amazing, pretty smart animal. But boy, they wreak havoc, don't they?
Yes, they do. They're really affecting the whitetail population now.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And what about turkeys? I think they're pretty bad on that too, aren't they not?
Yes, they raid the nest.
Right. They like those eggs. Is that it?
Yes. Raccoons, possums, and
this
coyotes.
Morning I'm going out to Lanier to try to actually see if the outside temperature is less than the water for the first time.
It will not have fallen much, but we've got it started.
Right, exactly.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to Lanier today to a children's crappie fishing tournament at Boulding Mill Park.
Where's it? It's at Mill Park?
Yes, Boulding Mill.
Bowling Mill, huh? Maybe I'll drive by and beep the horn.
Yeah, come on by. I think about 100 children are involved in a crappie tournament.
Is it like a place where they take donations and stuff like that?
Yes.
Is it for oh, cool. Maybe my brother-in-law and I will stop by and we'll
give it a try.
A couple singles in the bucket. You know what I mean?
Okay, good idea.
Hey, listen, have a great birthday.
Thank you.
Enjoy your new centerfire. From what I understand, it's a great rifle.
There you go. Hey, that's a good call. I'm glad you called that. Coy dogs.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
You bet. See you soon. 49 after the hour. We've got time for this, I believe. Let's talk to Tony, calling from Monticello, Georgia. What a great little town. Monticello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, you're on the air.
So I would like to know, where should I hunt at this morning? I'm hunting at Oconee National Forest.
Okay.
Right off of Fellowship Road in SR-16.
Okay. Have you been into the property or the wildlife management area before?
Yes.
Okay, so you know where you're going.
Well, I don't know exactly where at.
Okay.
They do have fields. They do have dove fields here.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would.
I seen 2 deer a couple weeks ago, like opening day. I seen 2 deer, 2 does, and but I let them walk. But they was right here by the beginning of the property at the bridge.
Okay, I would tell you to do 2 things. If you have some fields or food plots there, hunt the food plot area that's closest to water. Number 2,
Areas closest to water.
Okay, number 2, if not that, then your second choice is to hunt high in the morning and low in the afternoon, so that the wind and the air movements will help cover your scent.
Okay.
High in the morning and low in the afternoon. The air currents will help cover you.
Well, I'm ready to hunt.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. Now you got to call me next week now and let me know what happened.
Oh, I will.
Good deal. Good luck to you.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Thanks a bunch here. Okay, I'll see you soon. Good luck to you, Tony.
Okay, bye-bye.
You bet. There we go. It's 51 after the hour. I've got a couple of minutes to get to the at O'Neill Outside. In the middle of the home page, you'll see the guest book. And I invite your notes, your letters, your
I'm Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. Mostly cloudy through the weekend.
Uh-oh. Now we're back, okay? You with me, Cody? Corey, sorry. Okay. From Brian Ledbetter in Ocala, Florida, he says he loves the shows. It's great hunting in the U.S. instead of all the foreign countries, and it's not about killing the biggest animal and catching killing the biggest deer. Everyone has a bad luck, and O'Neill, you show that on your program. Yes, I do. So Jeff Reed from Dallas says, my wife and I enjoy your show. The Big Green Egg cooking is our favorite. My wife wants an egg now, and now they tried Swaggerty's sausage, and it is their favorite. And if you try Swaggerty's sausage, I guarantee you that will be your favorite also. Ed O'Neill from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I was missing your show, but I found it on the website, and he watches it on YouTube. Well, thank you very much, Ed. Michael from somewhere in Georgia, he's recovering from surgery, and he's immersed himself in hunting shows. He said, I stumbled across your television show, and I DVR'd it. I never have seen a more well-hosted quality program. We need to send that guy a check. Okay, and then John is writing from Arlington, Virginia. Any special lube needed for a muzzleloader in very cold weather to get the best accuracy? A clean muzzleloader is more accurate. Clean it. However, before you load it for your first shot after cleaning, you need to fire a primer through it. It will shoot better and more accurate if it has just a tiny little bit of a dirty barrel. This is O'Neill, and I'll be back. Talking about letting the cold in, the temperatures have fallen to normal levels here in Georgia and around the southeast. It's going to feel so much better today. So Gail and I will be going to Rocco's tonight for dinner. I'll probably eat wings. So I'm going to give away a Rocco's $25 gift card, okay, so that you can go to Rocco's. The first caller with the correct answer to the following question will receive a Rocco's gift card. I would imagine that somebody should call from Cartersville or Blue Ridge or Ellijay or someplace around close by so you can use the card, okay? And here is your question. The telephone numbers are 404-872-0750 or 800-972-8255. So the question for the $25 Rocco's gift card is the following. What is the city of my mailing address? Interesting, huh? I made that because people will know and you can go to Rocco's. I may see you there at Rocco's tonight. Will you be there? Gail and I will be. It's time for us to go out to dinner. It's about 20 miles from here to Rocco's, so it's very, very special occasion. We've got another hour of outdoors headed your way. We have the radio prize package list. We have the Medal of Honor tribute. We have several things we can talk about over the next hour. I hope that you'll stick around and join us. This is the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the country, and you can participate and via telephone and listen on the SB Nation and WSB 95.5 WSB and 750 AM all over the country, and watch us on Facebook. So we'll get to repeat all this stuff pretty soon, I can tell you. So the question is, you call those numbers. What is the city of my mailing address for a gift card? This is O'Neill. We'll be back.
O'Neill Outside Radio is brought to you by these fine sponsors. The Whitetail Institute of North America, the gold standard for food plots. Realtree, camo hunting, fishing, and land management products. Tough Shed, great storage sheds and custom buildings. Works, power and garden tools. Fisher's Choice, the ideal solution to live bait. CVA, quality muzzleloader since 1971. QDMA, Quality Deer Management Association. Arctic Ice, the most durable, versatile, and effective cooler packs available. And Furminator, the finest food plot implement on the market.
Good morning, boys and girls, from Black Powder headquarters at Three Falls Cabin in the North Georgia Mountains. CVA presents Realtree Radio. Welcome to a brand new, unused Saturday morning. Welcome, everyone, from Black Powder headquarters and the Bojangles studio. I get to say that live every week. Welcome to O'Neill Outside. We've got a lot of calls. We have some winners to give things away, and we will repeat a lot of the wonderful things we discussed during the first hour. This is the second hour of a 2-hour program. You're listening to O'Neill Outside, the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the country, and you can hear it on WSB, that is 95.5 WSB, and your 750 AM signal, and the Sports Broadcast Network. From Maine to Seattle to LA, across the country, all throughout Texas and the Midwest, all the way to Miami and throughout the Carolinas. So, tune in if you will, and I can guarantee you we will not be discussing politics during this program. No one this time of day cares, and I certainly don't. I've heard quite enough over the last week. You probably have also. So, welcome to the program, everyone. It's my pleasure to tell you that this program is brought to you by Realtree Camo, Tough Shed, Stripling's General Store, the Whitetail Institute, Arctic Ice, Ice Packs, CVA, the Furminator, Food Plot Equipment, QDMA, Snellville Heating and Air, and our new sponsors are Appalachian Gun in Jasper, Georgia, along Highway 515. Look for the pistol up in the air. I just made a motion there because you can watch this show also on Facebook live and throughout the week. Appalachian Gun, I'm going to go there and sight in a new rifle that I have. They have a range for rifles there, and I'm going to sight in. And at 8 minutes after the hour, our other sponsor new is Thiessens. It's spelled Thiessens, THIESSENS.com. Use my code O'Neill, ONEILL, and you can buy Realtree Camo, the new edge patterns
and you can buy them direct, okay? The last new sponsor is Rocco's, and when we get back, we'll give away a card, and we'll get to some calls. Welcome back. We have a lot of calls to get to. We got to give away a Rocco's gift card. So the question was, what is my city mailing address? And we have Brad on the line right now. And good morning, Brad. You're on the air. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, O'Neill.
Hey there. What is O'Neill's city mailing address?
Jasper, Georgia.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Okay, well, I'm going to Rocco's tonight, and this card will not get to you so you can use it tonight, but I hope to see you there. How about that?
That sounds great. I live here in Jasper myself.
Yeah, I bet you go to Rocco's too, don't you?
I sure do. Going to Appalachian Gun and Pond today also.
Hey, be sure and tell them I said hello. Are you going to be on the range today?
Yes, sir.
Well, good. That's a great place, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I really enjoy it.
Yes.
I like going up there.
Very, very personal service. I won't be there today, but I will be this coming week. So tell them O'Neill said hello, will you?
I will, and you have a happy birthday, O'Neill. Thank you.
Mighty fine. Thank you for participating in the program, and you got something out of it. We'll send you the card pretty soon. All right, let's talk now also, before we get further, let's talk to Eldon calling from Oklahoma. Good morning, Eldon. You're on the radio. Welcome to the show. Do I have Eldon? Uh-oh, I didn't push the right. There we go. Am I talking now to Eldon in Oklahoma?
Yes, you are.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear from you. What's going on?
Well, I was just kind of listening in last week. It's the first time I've ever found the show. I work at night on weekends.
Uh-huh.
And I love the information you give out about the deer.
Well, thank you very much.
It's kind of interesting.
Well, it makes.
And I was listening tonight and about the dogs and the coyotes. And out here in Oklahoma, we have a bad case of that.
Oh, I'm sure.
And there's packs of 30 and 40 of them in a bunch.
Wow.
And it's getting so bad that we don't have any rabbits left in the world out here.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they'll get the rabbits for sure. The coyote's a real smart critter.
Yes, they are. And now they're starting to take cattle.
Oh, really?
Yes. And we've lost one or two this last month.
Well, that's expensive.
It's getting bad. But like I said, I'm from Perry, Oklahoma. And we've got a little town west of us called Covington, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of strange to have Perry and Covington and Georgia and Oklahoma both.
How about that?
And I've got friends in Tifton, Georgia.
Wow, well, my goodness, you get around, don't you?
So, we do. We've got cattle. We haul cattle out there from Oklahoma.
Okay. Well,
and
my grandson has a home, and he lives there partially during the hunting season, and he lives in Sweetwater, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lives out in the country.
But, yeah. Well, if you're ever out here in Oklahoma, we'll be glad to have you out and maybe shoot a coyote or two or a deer or whatever.
I'd love to do that. Listen, thanks for calling. And call every week and let me know how the Oklahoma deer hunting season's going. Would you do that?
Okay, will do. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Mighty fine. Glad to have you on the program. Let's see. It's 15, almost 16 after the hour. Let's talk now to, let's talk now to John calling from New York. Good morning, John.
Greetings from the Catskill Mountains, where we've got runny nose and rosy cheeks this morning. Heavy frost.
Well, what's the temperature up there in the Catskills this morning?
It is currently 32.
Boy, I bet that feels great.
Oh, yeah. And the geese are flying overhead, and I picked apples off the tree yesterday, and everything is good.
Do you, John, let me ask you a question before you announce the purpose of your call. Answer the following question for me, please. In a flight of geese, Canada geese, and they're not Canadian geese. Canadians are people. Canada geese. Why is it that one side of the V is longer than the other side?
I believe you're looking for aerodynamics.
No, I'm just going to tell you there are more geese on the long side.
Now, all right.
I couldn't help it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I think
All
that's
right.
I think that's funny. I have a strange sense of humor. On
No,
the long
humor's
side,
great. I love it.
But I will say about that aerodynamics. I am told, I don't know any geese personally, but I am told that they rotate the lead goose.
Yep.
They
Yep. They get wore out in the front, and then
Correct.
they got to pull back, and then somebody else takes over
That's
to break
right.
the wind.
And
Yeah.
and I understand too, and then I'll shut up, I promise. The lead goose is not the gander. It's a female.
Okay.
Well, okay, enough about that.
Yes. All right. Here's a simple activity for kids and grown-ups.
Okay.
Because we could have just as much fun. And anybody could do this anywhere. There's a tree. And this time of year, and by the way, people are coming up to the Catskill Mountains this weekend in droves to see the beautiful color of the mountains, the fall foliage. Well, all them beautiful leaves are falling off. So you get a kid under a tree, tell them to go out back in the backyard to go catch a leaf, a falling leaf. It's a lot of fun.
There
and
you are.
think it's easy? You think it's easy to catch a fallen leaf?
I haven't
Give it
tried in
a
a long
try.
time, but I would say no, it's not easy. You bet.
Yeah, and so you could challenge the kids if they're getting in the way, or just get them outside, catch a fallen leaf. Also, I mentioned that to somebody recently, and they said, how about leaf races in the stream? Put a leaf in the stream and have the kids check it out and see who could win.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
You know that has it been dry up there in the Catskills this summer?
Very dry, very dry. And
Okay.
we got a little rain the other day with this cold front coming through, but we need every drop.
I am told, I'm no scientist, but I am told that if it has been dry, a dry summer, as it has been here in Georgia, it's drought, okay, that the leaves will fall earlier.
Huh.
Because the moisture from the tree goes out through the leaves. So if it has been dry, then the tree will shed the leaves earlier. How about that?
Okay, yeah, that could be because last year was wet. You remember, even you guys had a lot of rain last year.
Yes, we did.
And,
Yes.
and they stayed on. They did stay on longer, it seems. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
Hey, yeah, just one quick thing.
Okay.
In 1987, yesterday, 1987, we woke up to 18 inches of snow.
Oh, boy.
Yep. So you just never know. Hey, O'Neill, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I feel old.
Yeah, well, you got 15 years on me.
There you go. All right. Hey, I'm glad you called, my good friend. It's always lovely to hear from you. I hope to hear from you every week with a report from the Catskills.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet. See you soon. Hear from you soon. Sure, I'm hoping. Excuse me, 404-872-0750 or 800-972-8255 outside the Atlanta calling area. And I've got time for a tip. Excuse me. Here's a tip. It's time to sight in your guns, your rifles, your muzzleloaders for deer season. I know you will. Here's a tip. When you're all set up on the range, you're nice and steady, and you're checking the scope and the scope mounts, and you're making sure it works perfectly, okay? Do this. It will help you because you may have to do this. Shoot, then stand up and shoot freehand immediately. You may have to do that this season. So it cannot and it should not be a surprise to you to have to do that. You'll feel more comfortable shooting freehand if you've tried it a few times on the bench and then freehand and see how you do. You're going to be surprised at the change in that bullet trajectory when you're doing it freehand. This is O'Neill with O'Neill Outside. The radio prize package when we return. Got some valuable stuff. Stay right there. I know you probably, on the SB Nation, you probably can't hear the music that WSB plays as an intro every time we come back, but it's the country songs or the country style of Zach Brown, and he really tells a fantastic story in his songs. He's very, very pleasant. My personal number one artist is in the operatic category, and that is Luciano Pavarotti. And if you've ever heard him sing Nessun Dorma, turn it up loud and listen to it all. It's a pleasure. Okay, a couple of things before we get to the radio prize package. And number one is you can listen to this program and other podcasts from O'Neill at Google and Apple and SoundCloud and iTunes and the Waypoint Collective and on and on and on. You can listen to this program and my own personal stories. They're not interviews with someone. It's just a little personal story from O'Neill, a fishing trip, a memory, someone I met, and so on. And that goes along with the book at o'neilloutside.com. Visit there, and on the home page, you will see an offer to purchase my book. It's called O'Neill Outside, People and Places Along the Way. And if you buy it off the website, then I will sign it and personalize it for you. And again, I've said so many times, it's not John Steinbeck. It's not the great American novel, but it's kind of a fun read. Okay, let's give away the radio prize package. The telephone numbers are 404-872-0750, 404-872-0750, or 800 WSB Talk, 800-972-8255. You guys calling in, hold on. Here is the radio prize package. Where is it? Oh, a Bojangles $10 gift coupon. Swaggerty's Farm coupon that you can use in a grocery store and get some Swaggerty's. You'll be happy about that. A Whitetail Institute DVD about food plot installation. An Angler magazine. Fisher's Choice baits. A Thunder Chicken casting float from Mark Noble. A Thorogood Boots hat. Arctic Ice freezer pack. Once you use Arctic Ice, won't use any ice again. A selection of True Turn tackle, and a free week on the rifle range, pistol or rifle range at Appalachian Gun and Pawn in Jasper. A free week. You can go every day for a week, and you'll get a card that says so. And the question is, this is going to be difficult. The question is, if O'Neill were going to a tackle store to buy fish hooks today, what brand would I likely buy? Of course, the questions are always designed so that you will not know the answer to that unless you are a fan or listen to the show. It's 28 after the hour. Now, we always enjoy his calls. Now let's talk to Hank the Yank. What do you say, my good friend?
Happy birthday, old man.
Well, man, let's tell you what, these days are getting shorter and shorter.
I understand. Listen.
Yes.
You know, all you need to remember is one thing. When somebody at this stage of life, when somebody says it's nice to see you, your proper response is always good to be seen rather than viewed.
That's right. Well said. That is correct. Yes, indeed.
So
well said.
Well, anyway, we are, we're gearing up for stripers. Finally, I'm back in the saddle again.
You betcha.
You know, I take the summer off for the stripers with my fly fishing, and so I actually will start next week. I'll have my first. I'll be going out scouting around for a few days, taking some folks out locally that not on paid trips, just sort of busman holiday, just to get familiar with the lake again, see what's going on. I've already been out a couple times, and believe it or not, the fish are starting to bust on the surface. So we're starting to see that a little bit. It's still inconsistent, not good enough for guiding, as far as that goes. But for anybody going out, basically, this is the time of year you fill up your gas tank, and all you do is drive until you find fish on top.
Right. Well,
and you may drive all afternoon and not see a thing, or you may drive and see a couple of big schools up. And this is the time of year where we see the most fish on the surface. You know, we'll have schooling fish, O'Neill, between now and the end of January. We will have schooling fish the entire next 3 months, but it is the month of October when you go out and you might see 100 fish just tearing up the surface. It'll look like a blender on the top of the water.
Well, I want to make a point here, because people are listening to the program and they know that Hank the Yank is talking about Lake Lanier. But indeed, you are not just talking about Lake Lanier. You're talking about stripers in their habitats in the Carolinas, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Alabama, northern Mississippi, and all around, are you not?
I am. And
Yes.
I'll take a line out of my book that I quoted you, and that is because
The striper doesn't know where he lives.
I love that. That's the best line I've ever heard.
I cannot
You know
wait.
I love that.
I can't wait to get my hands on that book. It'll be what, next year?
Yeah, it'll be sometime next year. I'm
Okay.
actually I'm at the point right now where I'm putting the captions on all the pictures.
Good deal.
So that's where we're at. But you know, folks need to just get on out right now, and especially with this, you know, next Sunday is the full moon, Sunday or Monday of next week. And the upside of the full moon in October is usually when it kicks off. And with this cool weather coming, I fully expect that we're going to start getting reports all over the place about striper. And when I say all over the place, as you say, not me locally, not just Lanier. I'm going to hear from guys on Altoona, and I'm going to hear from guys on Oconee, and I'm going to hear from guys on Hartwell. Everybody's going to start reporting seeing schools on the surface. So it's time to clean the old reels out, get all the gunk out of them if they've been sitting up all summer, and just get ready for some really exciting fishing about to come up.
I'll comment that, and I haven't been to these lakes in several years, but I got to tell you, those lakes containing stripers in from Nashville east in Tennessee. Those lakes up there, Cherokee, Douglas, and all those, there are some fabulous striper fishing in those lakes.
Yeah, I think they may have not only do they have good fishing, they probably have, on consistent terms, the biggest fish caught anywhere in the South. Probably come out of Tennessee.
I believe
so. They are just trophy areas. If you're looking to catch a fish, take a picture and get a wall mount, you know, get a fish taxidermy done, but you know, you can release the fish. You don't have to keep the fish. You'll just take the length and the girth measurements, and you can bring it to any sort of place. Even Bass Pro Shops, I believe, can have that made for you, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm certain. I would tell you, if you recall being in my little trophy room down here where the studio is, there must be 25 they're all my personal records, and they're all fiberglass mounts. Every fish was returned alive.
That's right. You don't have to kill the fish to get a beautiful fiberglass mount these days.
All right, you'll be watching or listening to the frogs today, I guess.
We're gonna put some Orange Crush on the Tennessee Vols. By the way,
yes, you are.
I want you to know I was in Tennessee. You know, we play the Vols today, and I'm going to let you go when I tell you this. The Volunteers are just, you know, horrible this year again. It's unfortunate. I was up in Chattanooga, and I ended up speeding, and a sheriff pulled me over.
Oh.
And my fine was 2 tickets to a Tennessee-Georgia game. That was the fine, just to get me in the seats. Anyway,
I gotta go. Bye. Oh, how about that? Okay, let's see. Now let's go. Let's answer the question here. Get it done. I got a minute and a half. And the question was, if O'Neill went to a tackle store today, what would be likely the brand of hooks that I would purchase? And we're going to speak now to Alden, calling from Alpharetta, Georgia. Good morning, Alden. You're on the show. Welcome.
Good morning, O'Neill. How are you today?
Just fine, thank you. What would be the brand of hooks that I would likely buy?
Definitely True Tackle.
Yeah, True Turn. That's right. That's close enough.
Or True Turn, rather. I'm sorry.
True Turn. It's interesting. When I get back from this break, if you're still listening, I can tell you're driving. I will tell you how John Campbell came up with the turning hook. It's an interesting story. And I hope you enjoy the radio prize package. It'll give us a couple of weeks. We'll put it in one great big box and send it to you. Do we have your information, sir?
Yes, you do. You got everything.
Mighty fine. Thank you for calling, sir, and participating in the program. And enjoy the radio prize package.
Will do. You have a great day now.
You bet. Be sure and get some Swaggerty sausage from Kroger. You'll be happy about that. See you soon, my friend. 36 minutes after the hour. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. We have some contributions made by hunters and how it cares for wildlife when we return. The telephone numbers are 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. And upon our return, the first thing we will do is the highlight of the second hour of the show every Saturday. And what is that? It's the Medal of Honor tribute. Medal of Honor tribute. Captain Howard Lee, Vietnam, 1966. Lee's company was attacked and surrounded by a large Vietnamese force, and realizing that the unit had suffered numerous casualties and fully aware that the platoon was even then under heavy attack by the enemy, Lee took 7 men and proceeded by helicopter to reinforce the position. Major Lee disembarked from the helicopter with 2 of his men, and braving withering enemy fire, he led them to the perimeter, where he fearlessly moved from position to position, directing and encouraging the overtaxed troops. The enemy then launched a massive attack. Although painfully wounded by fragments from an enemy grenade almost blinding him, Lee continued throughout the night to direct the defense, coordinating supporting fire, and apprise higher headquarters of the plight of the platoon. The next morning, he collapsed from his wounds and was forced to relinquish command. However, the small band of Marines had held their position and repeatedly fought off many vicious enemy attacks for a grueling 6 hours until their evacuation was effected the following morning. Major Lee's action saved his men from capture, minimized the loss of lives, and dealt the enemy a severe defeat. His fighting spirit, superb leadership, and great personal valor in the face of tremendous odds reflect great credit upon himself and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the U.S. Naval Service. Captain Howard Lee, he died in March of 2019. And that is your Medal of Honor tribute for October the 5th. So, 42 after the hour, 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. One of the things I wanted to do today is encourage you as a deer hunter, whether you live in Georgia, Florida, no matter where in the country, no matter where in the world, if you understand more about deer and deer hunting, how they see, how they hear, what are their habits, all those things, you will be or have the opportunity to be a better deer hunter and enjoy it that much more if you understand it. So, I'm recommending to you that you join the Quality Deer Management Association. It's located in Bogart, Georgia. It's inexpensive, and those people are not just deer hunters, they are scientists. And so the things they tell you aren't just campfire gossip. these things are true. And I'm going to pass along a couple of these things to you today. A common belief among hunters is that the moon phase determines when a doe comes into heat and therefore controls the rut. However, numerous scientific studies have confirmed that the moon phase has no impact on the timing of the rut. I don't care what people say at campsite. I don't care what people say around the campfire at the cabin. It doesn't. The primary controlling factor is the photo period, or day length. It's the declining number of hours of daylight that controls the beginning of the rut. So how is it different then in Alabama than Georgia, when indeed it's the same number of hours of daylight? It's because it's a different deer. For instance, in Georgia, the rutting period for the coastal deer is October. The rutting period for the deer in the mountains of North Georgia is likely to be December. And if you want to know when all these ruts occur in the state of Georgia, go to Georgia Outdoor News magazine. You have a rut map. And I'm sure in magazines all over the country, you can secure on the internet or via a magazine a rut map so that you will be hunting during the rut. And it's very important. Are you concerned that a deer might spot you when you're wearing blaze orange? I know in Georgia, for you to hunt legally, you have to wear a certain number of square inches of blaze orange. If you're that concerned, you don't need to be. You can relax. Research has shown that while deer are not colorblind, and that's another thing that you hear at camp, and that's wrong, white-tailed deer are not colorblind. So what do they see? They don't see colors like red or orange the same way we do. They actually see orange as a dark yellow or even black, the same way they see green. They can, listen now, they can see blue in various colors. So, you're better off not wearing blue jeans along with your orange blaze vest. Don't wear blue jeans. Now, I'm not here to tell you that if a white-tailed deer sees blue in the woods, he doesn't, and he's not smart enough to know, uh-oh, there's a guy over there. I bet he's got a rifle, and he's hunting, and he's wearing blue jeans. I got to get out of here. No. But he knows those blue jeans might be trouble. A white-tailed deer is not curious. He doesn't see blue jeans and think, oh, I better go over there and see what that is. No, he'll go to another place. Many hunters believe that providing supplemental minerals to their deer will result in bucks with larger antlers. However, there's no scientific evidence to support that. The best way to ensure your deer are healthy and produce the largest antlers possible is to improve the quality of the habitat and let them live to an older age. The longer you let them live, the more likely it is that they will have larger antlers. So, and it's been proven too by quality deer management in testing that they have taken a small buck and taped on him and secured large antlers to see how the does react to a buck with large antlers versus a buck with small antlers. The does are much more attracted to the deer with larger antlers. Interesting, isn't it? That's how the species maintains the best offspring. The big buck, the buck with most antlers, likely does most of the breeding or has the opportunity to do most of that. Here's a tip that's not from QDMA. All right, you've been scouting. You've got food plots. You've seen this big deer. You've seen him the last 3 times, and you could not get a shot. Archery, muzzleloader, rifle. You just couldn't quite get a shot. But you know this time, because it's the rut, you're going to get him. You're all primed. You're all set. You're all ready. You go for a weekend and you don't see him at all. You get there on a Friday night. You've got camo. You're scent free. You've got attractants, small amounts of attractants. Everything is perfect. Where is he? What happened? Here's something for you to keep in mind during the rut. Quite often, when a buck and a doe have begun their mating procedure, their process, quite often that buck may spend 20, he will, if he locates a doe that will accept him, he will likely lead her away from the food plot. He'll lead her into deep cover. He'll lead her into a place where they're not being seen alone, and he will remain with her from 24 to 48 hours. And he will breed her over and over and over again until she doesn't accept him anymore. So, if you've got it all set, you're done, you're in great shape, you've got your deer located, and now you can't find him. He's likely not left. It could be that he's with a particular doe and will be for a day or two. Now, how does this help you? It just helps you understand. That's all. It just helps you understand. Now, secondly, I got something else that I learned at QDMA. I used to go to Oklahoma, and there was a deer there that I subsequently harvested on the opening day of the muzzleloader season many years ago. And I was remarking to the people at some of the scientists at QDMA that there's out of all the cameras, all the hunters, all of the people that work there on that ranch. You know, if it's on the other side of the Mississippi, it's a ranch. All those people, no one had ever seen that deer until I shot him that day. How's that? And I was remarking to the people at QDMA, granting that deer, the ability to stay so hidden that no one had ever seen him before. They corrected me because QDMA knows, and now you know, that sometimes a buck will just take a vacation. He will leave his home range of 90 to 100 acres, and he'll just leave. Why? We don't know. You could guess. Maybe another big buck pushed him out. Maybe he felt unwelcome. Maybe the does were refusing him. Who knows? But we know this, that they will leave. Sometimes they return. Sometimes they do not. But if there's one compensatory reason for you not to be discouraged, think about a buck at someone else's property who takes a vacation and he shows up where you hunt. it all balances out. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. You're listening to O'Neill Outside. And after the show, you can take what I tell you as being truthful, or you can check it out. It's my pleasure. You proceed. We'll be back. Well, I was going to do something obviously very important, but I can't find it. So it's 57 and a half after the hour. Thanks for joining us this morning. I hope you will make plans to visit us on Saturday mornings throughout the deer season and the fall fishing. Maybe there's some things that people will call in that you and I can learn something. One of the things I want to correct, I made a mistake last week because someone, I think it was on Facebook, I'm not sure. The question was, does an armadillo carry leprosy? I misunderstood the question, but there's no excuse for my saying no, they do not. The armadillo does carry the leprosy bacteria. I think you're pretty safe unless you have one for a pet or that you cook him and eat him. Stay away from armadillos. I was wrong about that, so I stand corrected, okay? Before we get out of here, too, I want to tell everyone that how this works. Gail and I have a little studio here in North Georgia at Three Falls Cabin, just kind of a little lean-to. And the show goes from here to WSB Radio. The engineer there is Corey Regnan. The call screener is Jason Byers. And then it travels to Peachtree City, Georgia, to a studio there, which is operated expertly by Karen and Brian Green. And then they send the show to Texas, to GOW, G-O-W, GOW Media. And that GOW Media is the headquarters for and the signal origination for the SB Nation. You've got it all set up. Thanks to all those people and for their expertise. This is O'Neill. And if you're too busy to go fishing and take a kid along, you're too busy. I'll see you guys next week.
I once asked a mighty hunter, coming home from the field, how he came to possess such mighty hunting and fishing skill. He said, I'll tell you a secret, son. I learned everything I know from listening to O'Neill Outside on my radio. O'Neill, O'Neill, O'Neill Outside.